welcome to Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa. I'd like to welcome you into the dehydrating shed on this chilly evening. Let me tell you, I don't know who left the deep freeze open, but they can shut it. It's too cold for November where I'm at. Tonight we're going to be making turkey tail tincture. Hold on just a second. I have finally gathered enough turkey tail mushrooms, and I should be able to get 3 half-gallon jars, which will end up being 1.5 gallons of tincture. Now, of course, I make them in huge batches. You don't have to do the same thing. Now, turkey tails are extremely medicinal. And I'm talking about the mushrooms, not the actually turkey tails. Those go into greens. That's a whole nother different story there. But these are beautiful turkey tail mushrooms. They are gorgeous. And I wild harvested these. And I have washed them as best as possible. I washed them till the water was clear. And I used very cool water because I didn't want them like cooking just yet. Now, this is going to be a 2-part video. This first part is making the tincture, which I will be letting mine set up for 8 weeks. Once the 8 weeks is over with, I will bring y'all back for the second video. And this tincture is going to end up being what they call double decocted. The first part is making the alcohol base. The second part will be straining off the mushrooms out of the tincture and then adding them to water and cooking it down. I will describe and go into more detail when that part comes up. Now, I will be using 100 proof vodka. It's getting harder and harder to get a hold of alcohol, so y'all be careful. If you can get a hold of it, get as much as you can and stock it back. We searched for a while for this vodka, and it's 100 proof, and unfortunately it's not the usual one that I use. It's a little more expensive, and I try not to use the expensive vodka because I don't want to have to raise my prices on my tinctures at all. Now the medicinal values of the turkey tail mushrooms. Now, first off, I'm sorry this video will have to be age restricted, 18 and above, because I don't want the YouTube police coming after me, as usual. The medicinal part, and I am not a doctor, nor do I act like a practicing physician. I am an herbalist who makes medicine for those who are interested and to keep my family well. With that being said, they are very medicinal. There has been many studies proving that these are wonderful for cancer fighting, for colon cancer, breast cancer, what's the other one? Colon cancer, breast cancer, and then there's another one. It builds up your immune system. Turkey tail mushrooms are extremely good for immune boosting, also fighting radical cells in your body. It builds your immune system up, and it causes your immune system to attack radical, like cancer cells and radical cells in your body, and many other wonderful medicinal benefits, which I will have them in the description box below. So, this is simple, easy. Tincture making is not hard. People make it out to be hard so that you won't do it, because they don't want you making yourself well. I try to keep you-know-who out of our lives absolutely as much as possible, because I don't want their medicines. I want all natural medicines that actually do work. Now, with that being said, let's get busy. I'm going to adjust the camera. And like I said, you don't have to make big batches like I do. You can make it in pint jars, quart jars. Now, some you can make in jelly. Jelly jars for this tincture would be just a little small. Now, if you wanted to, you can also gather these turkey tail mushrooms. They're fairly dry. Some of these look really wet because I just recently washed some of them. You can dry them, or you can use them fresh and make tea out of. The only bad thing with them just making the tea out of them is inside them are flavonoids and several other. I'll go into more description in the description box below. Some of it is only able to be pulled out, extracted by alcohol. And I don't use glycerin and all that stuff because I don't want that in my body either. I use 100% either 100 proof vodka, or I'll use 80 proof vodka for my tinctures, nothing else. Well, once in a while, let's take that back. When I make other, especially the mimosa tincture, I'll use brandy because you don't need anything stronger than brandy. But other than that, only things I use is 80 proof vodka and 100 proof vodka. I do not use Everclear because it does more harm than healing, because it eats your guts, and oh, it's horrible what it does to your liver. And I just will not use it. And you definitely want to use 100 proof, because once you make the tea decoction, well, the tea, after they have tinctured up, you're going to mix that back in with your alcohol. And you want to make sure your alcohol is as strong as possible. That way, as strong as within reason. Because you don't want your alcohol level to get too low, because then you take a chance of your tincture going bad. And you've already done all this work. That's the last thing you want to happen. And like I said, I have washed these as best as possible. If there ends up being some dirt in it, it's going to get strained out. And I look at it like this. I come from dirt, so therefore a little dirt's not going to kill me. And I want to try to get the same amount of the mushrooms per jar, so it's an equal amount. Until it took a while to get all these turkey tails. And you want to make sure you get off as much as the bark end pieces and leaves that might be stuck to them, and so on. Okay, done with that. Oh, don't tell me I'm going to have trouble. Good grief. Well, they don't want you to get into this vodka. Hey, give me a minute. I'm going to have to cheat. Be right back. Well, I won that battle. I found out you have to grab this cover and the cap and twist at the same time. I was fixing to go cheat and get a knife or something. Because the other vodka I use... Alright, now look you. Forget it. Going to go get a knife. Okay, that struggle was real. I've never had to fight with alcohol like this before, but I've also haven't used expensive alcohol before. Okay, we have our turkey tail mushrooms in the jar, and we finally have won the struggle of the vodka. I want to make sure I get all of this out of the bottle. Now, every day, every other day, you're going to want to come agitate your jar around, make sure everything's covered. Now on to jar number 2, which is now getting simpler to do. Now don't worry if your tincture starts getting a little dark, that's fine. It means it's doing its job. And it's pulling out the alcohol-based medicinals out of the turkey tail mushrooms. Whew. Like I said, you want to make sure you get them all covered in the alcohol, that there's no bubbles. You want to keep them in a cool, dark place. And like I said, every day, every other day, agitate them, make sure they're all good and covered. And you'll want to take your Sharpie marker and write turkey tail tincture and the date 11/19/21, and that way you can keep up with the 8-week mark. Now, of course, if it goes over 8 weeks, that's fine. That's not going to hurt a thing. It's not going to hurt a single thing. Because these mushrooms are fixing to be preserved. But you always want to make sure that you write on the top what it is. Make sure your tops are on good. And that's all there is to doing it. Now in 8 weeks time, I will bring you back. Might be just a hair over 8 weeks. It depends on how busy I am. But it's simple, it's easy, and this is the beginning of a wonderful, wonderful medicinal. Now, like I said, I will have more medicinal information in the description box below, so please take time to read it, and that way you'll know even more about these amazing medicinal mushrooms that grow throughout the United States, Asia, Europe as well. Now, I'll have even more information about that. Now, I hope this video inspires you to start making your all-natural medicine. That way, you can heal yourself, and we don't need big you-know-who in our lives. Because I don't want them in my life. They've caused enough trouble worldwide as it is, especially here in America. I don't want to get on my soapbox so I won't get in trouble. Everyone, take care. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And also, I look forward to seeing you in my next video. And may you each be blessed. Take care, everyone.